Today, we're going to work with multiplying a mixed number by a fraction and then a mixed number by a mixed number. We'll start with 3 times 5 and 1/6. So I'm going to write 3 times 5 and 1/6. We've already talked about how to turn a whole number into a fraction. Whenever we have a whole number, we can turn it into a fraction simply by placing it over 1, because any number divided by 1 is itself. So 3 divided by 1 equals 3. We are going to stay with multiplication because that doesn't change. But when I have a mixed number, I need to turn that mixed number into an improper fraction. So how do I do that? First, I'm going to take the denominator of my fraction and I am going to multiply it by my whole number. So 6 times 5 equals 30. Then I'm going to take the product and I'm going to add it with my numerator. So 30 plus 1 equals 31. And that gives me 31/6. If I were to take 31 and divide it by 6, I would get 5 and 1/6. Because 6 times 5 is 30, I would have a remainder of 1, which would give me the 1/6. So, now that I've done that, I can go ahead and multiply my fractions as usual. I can start by multiplying my numerators. 3 times 31. I know that 3 times 1 equals 3. And 3 times 3 equals 9. Then I can simply multiply my denominators. And I know that 1 times 6 equals 6. Well, I can't very well leave 93/6 all by itself. So, I'm going to have to come over and divide because that is an improper fraction. So I can say 93 divided by 6. I know that 6 times 1 is 6, and my 9 minus 6 equals 3. I'm going to bring down my other 3, and now I know that 6 times 5 is 30. And 33 minus 30 equals 3. So I know that 93/6 is the same as 15 and 3/6. But I also know that 15 and 3/6 is the same as 15 and 1/2. Because 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Now I can move on to 3 1/3 times 2 1/2. So 3 1/3 times 2 1/2. I'm going to follow the very same procedure as I did with my first problem, only now I have 2 mixed numbers. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 3, which is 9, and then add my numerator, which is 10. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 equals 10. That gives me 10/3. I'm going to do the same thing with my second fraction, my second mixed number. 2 times 2 equals 4, and then 4 plus 1 equals 5. so I have 5 seconds. 10 divided by 3 is 3 1/3, and 5 divided by 2 is 2 1/2. Now that I've created 2 improper fractions, I'm able to multiply. I can multiply my numerators, and I know that 10 times 5 is 50. And then I can multiply my denominators, and I know that 3 times 2 is 6. Only, once again, I have an improper fraction, so I will need to divide, because fractions are division. 50 divided by 6. The numerator is the dividend, and the denominator is the divisor. So, I know that 6 times 8 is 48, and 50 minus 48 equals 2. That gives me 8 2/6. But I know that I can simplify that because 6 is divisible by 2, so I can say 56 is the same as 8, and then 2 divided by 2 equals 1, and then 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So 8 2/6 is the same as 8 1/3 when it's reduced. So my final product is 8 1/3.